Yeehaw! Today we're going to stir up some fun cowboy hat cookies. Hi, I'm Leslie with Leslie's Cookies and Treats, and if you love decorating sugar cookies or you want to learn how, you're in the right place. Let's decorate together. I'm making these sugar cookies as part of a first birthday rodeo set, and I hope you giddy on up here and decorate with me today. All the supplies needed are listed in the description. So I started by using a paper piecing method to outline the different areas on this hat. And if you don't know how to do that, I'll leave a link to a video tutorial in the description. And then because I want to keep separation between the different areas of the hat, I'm going to let that first section I piped dry while I move over here to the front of the hat and outline and flood this area in using my scribe to get it nice and smooth because we don't want any burrs in our bonnet. And all of my royal icings I'm going to be using here today are about a 15-second flood consistency, and I'll also leave a link to how to achieve that consistency in the description. And then I let that dry for about 10 to 15 minutes until it had crusted over before I come back in here and outline and flood in the top of the hat, again using my scribe to make sure that the icing is nice and smooth. And then I set that aside to dry again. And now that the brown icing has had a chance to dry, I'm coming back in with a tan color and adding in the hat brim, and then I'll use my scribe to shape this icing and smooth it down as well. And I'll let it dry again before coming back in and flooding in this final section of the hat along the bottom. So just outline it by touching down, lifting up with your piping bag, and then carefully going around, and then flood that area in. I use the same icing for flooding and outlining. And then let the cookie dry again for another 15 or 20 minutes before you come back in and pipe in the details of the hat. I'm using my 15-second royal icing with a little tiny hole cut in my piping bag. And to make these little lines, I'm going to squeeze just a tiny bit of icing out of the tip of my piping bag, touch down, lift up, and go around. And watch where I'm dropping my line of icing rather than my piping bag. And then I'll stop putting pressure on my bag and touch down again at the end of my line. And if you do have any bumps at the start or stop of your icing lines, just use your scribe to settle those down. And that's it. These cookies are done. Thanks for riding along, partner. If you had a yeehaw of a time, be sure to like, subscribe, and mosey on over for more sweet cookie adventures. See you later, buckaroo.